Usually spend 4 or 5 years studying healthcare, learning various subjects like anatomy, pharmacology, microbiology, biotechnology, etc. But nobody ever tells us that you can actually build an entire career just by writing about science. And the surprising part is some medical writers earn salaries comparable to many clinical professions. And surprisingly, most healthcare students have never even heard about it. So, today we are talking about medical writing. In this video, I'll explain what medical writing actually is, who can become a medical writer, salary packages, companies hiring, and most importantly, the exact roadmap to get started. But before we begin, let me quickly introduce myself. I am Shifa and I'm a healthcare data analyst and a digital pathologist. I work with healthcare datasets, medical image annotation, NLP-based healthcare workflows, and AI projects. A big part of my work involves reading scientific literature, understanding clinical documentation, and working with medical information every single day. And one thing I've realized so far is that colleges prepare us for traditional healthcare careers, but very few prepare us for the careers that are growing today. That's exactly why I started BioSen. So now let's talk about medical writing. A pharmaceutical company spends around almost a decade, 10 years to 12 years, developing a new medicine, a new drug. Thousands of patients participate in clinical trials. Millions of data points are collected. Now imagine the company walks into a regulatory office and says, "Trust us, our medicine works, so give us the approval." Obviously, that's not how things work. They need to prove their work for their drug or medicine to get approved, to get launched into the market. Every clinical trial, every safety observation, every result, every adverse event, everything has to be documented properly. And someone has to prepare those documents. That's where medical writers come in. They are the people who transform complex medical science into clear, accurate, and structured documents that doctors, researchers, pharmaceutical companies, and regulatory authorities can actually understand. Here's something that surprised even more. Medical writing isn't just one job. Some medical writers prepare clinical study reports. Some write regulatory documents for drug approvals. Some create scientific publications. Some develop educational content for doctors. Some even work with healthcare AI companies to improve medical communication. Now here's the interesting part. How much do you get paid for this job? Freshers usually start somewhere around 3 to 6 LPA depending on their skills, location, and company. With experience, medical writers commonly move into 8 to 15 LPA range, and specialized writers in regulatory or publication roles can earn even more. Some professionals also work remotely or freelance with international clients where earnings depend on expertise and project volume. So where do these jobs exist? Companies like IQVIA, Parexel, Icon, Seniors Health, Cognizant, Accenture, Pfizer, Novartis, Sanofi, and many medical communication agencies regularly hire medical writers. Now comes the most important part if you're serious about this career. Here's the roadmap that I would recommend. Step 1 would be to strengthen your medical knowledge. If you belong from any medical science or life science background, you have already covered the hardest part. Step 2. Learn scientific writing, and to do that, you need to learn how to read and summarize research papers. Try summarizing the paper in your own words. This single habit will improve your writing tremendously. Learn referencing styles like Vancouver and ANN. Understand clinical research and drug development. Learn publication ethics and basic regulatory writing concepts. Improve English for scientific communication. Step 3. Build a portfolio. And no, you don't need clients for this. Create your own. Write a disease overview, a drug monograph, a literature review, a patient education leaflet, a summary of a clinical trial. Upload them to LinkedIn or your portfolio website so that recruiters can actually see your work. Step 5 would be to strengthen your profile with recognized certifications in courses like medical writing, clinical research, good clinical practice or GCP, regulatory affairs, scientific writing. Start applying to internships and entry-level positions. This much is more than enough for you to begin this career. Personally, I think medical writing is one of the most underrated careers in healthcare because you're not leaving healthcare, you're simply using your scientific knowledge in a different way. Healthcare is becoming more digital every year, and professionals who can understand science and communicate it clearly are becoming more valuable. So, what are your views regarding this profession? Let us know in the comments below. Also, which health tech profession you would like me to cover next, comment down below. Until then, keep learning, keep exploring because your healthcare degree opens far more doors than most colleges ever tell you.